Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning. Hi, it's Justin from Schmith Estate Agents, and I thought I'd give you a property market indicate summary or a monthly wrap. So every month we're going to come to you and do a monthly podcast. So a little bit what's been happening on the month of January. We're coming to you today on the 1st of February, first of the month. But what we're going to see is the market here in 2022 starting to return back to somewhat of a normalcy, if you will, which we take into account like seasonality. We're expecting to see a bit of a strong selling season now, end of January up until about June, when the market traditionally starts to slow down in the month of March. We will see strong sales still occurring, and the amount of sales will outdo this time last year in this quarter for this month as we go into June. A lot of people are talking about the election already and what that might do in terms of how it might impact the market. There's a lot of advice and suggestions around that depending on the client situation. It's another story for a different day. But the election is on for this year, so you've got to take that into account. And I think as we get closer to the election, which may be called to in May, and then May, obviously June follows May, I think we will see the market somewhat slow down. Already statistics are being released, clearance rates in Brisbane in particular, but also the Gold Coast are hovering around 80 to 85%, which is phenomenal. That's basically double to what it normally is here in Queensland. Normally the clearance rate in Queensland normally hovers at best at 50%. It's like putting money on black. So obviously that's a strong indication of the market there. You're around an 80 to 85% clearance rate for Queensland. Also, the amount of listings on the market has increased 30%, particularly here in the southern Gold Coast and Brisbane markets. So there is a notable 30% increase, but also in saying that, the clearance rate this time last year was also 30% down. So what does that mean? More supply to the market, but the demand is still just as strong as ever, if not stronger. So from what we can see this month, as we're going to be doing this every month because things are so subject to change, for all you homeowners out there, it's still happy times for you guys. Market looks still to be very strong, very competitive. We were predicting a lot more supply to come onto the market to maybe balance things out, but at this stage we still can't see that in this area. I do know from our agents down in Sydney and now some in Melbourne that things are starting to slow down in the capital cities, and normally we follow about 6 months behind. So like I said, I think as we come into May, June, we will see somewhat of a growth slump. Don't know if it's going to go down though, but I think it might be healthy for it to slow down to give sellers a bit more options in relocating, upsizing, downsizing, and also give buyers a little bit of breathing space. However, buyers agents are still going off. It's great to see the industry working as a sort of a somewhat American system, which was you have a representative representing the buyer and the seller. A lot of buyers actually don't know how it works here in Australia, where when you are a buyer, there's 10 other buyers at an open house and you're dealing with the agent on site. That's actually the agent, the vendor's agent, that's the seller's agent. That agent is working in the best interest of the seller. So often buyers feel like they don't get service, they don't get a lot of answers back and so forth, is because not only is that agent very busy dealing with 50 different buyers, however, if you don't understand the process or the dialogue of contracts and so forth, that might actually put you at the bottom of the pile if that agent's dealing with someone that's a bit more savvy or knows the system more. So I do recommend talking to us at Schmith Estate Agents. We do now offer buyers agency services. And when you engage in us to do that, we can help you not only secure the property of your dreams, but also find potential off-market opportunities and so forth for you, which we did last week for a French lady from Sydney. And she's very excited as well. So just thought I'd reiterate, buyers, you still have access to services out there if you feel like you're not getting that. And buyers agencies, which weren't very common here in Queensland, but were quite common in Melbourne and Sydney, have taken off about 75% over the last 12 months here in Queensland. So for all you buyers out there, if you are struggling to secure a property, you're welcome to give us a call. I do specialise as a buyer's agent as well, and so does the firm. Of course, we can recommend some of our partners that we work for as buyer's agents, such as I could recommend about 3 firms off the top of my head if you are further interested. Anyway, I could talk all day. I am in real estate, do love our job. The sun is shining. It's still a good time for sellers. We still have an undersupply of stock to deliver to the inundated of buyers. Also for landlords, we are very much specialising in a high boutique service of property management. As of the time of recording this podcast, Channel 7 and Channel 9 News have come into the office today. Our very special property manager, Jamie Vanette, we've had a case there where an elderly gentleman is not able to afford the current rent at his property. The owners have tried their best to accommodate him at such a low rate. He's about to be homeless, basically in the street, with no support, no money. And Jamie, out of the goodwill, we've all gone out of our way to try and help him. She set up a GoFund account for him on Friday, and not thinking too much of it, just obviously with the best interest of her heart, that actually went viral on social media. Thank you, Celeste Barber, for contributing such an amount for that. And Channel 7, Channel 9 News, and that GoFundMe account has just gone insane. You can see that on Channel 7, Channel 9 News this evening. By the time you get this podcast, it's probably already done, but you might be able to find it. And Dennis, our tenant, he's probably in his 80s. I don't even know if he knows how to use an email. We showed him the support that the community has, and it's so amazing to see the Australian spirit coming back after an interesting time the last 20 months where it was a little bit diluted, but looking out for each other. And as of about a couple of hours ago, there's from 4 days, she set up on Friday, today's Tuesday, it's over $32,000 in support for Mr. Dennis there, our tenant at Ocean Street. So it gives you an idea of what we do for both our tenants and our landlords. Helping that tenant effectively helps our landlords, which is obviously our client, and then the flow and effect from there. But just lovely to see Jamie. Compliments to her and credit to her as just a great person, and that's what we aspire to do here at the firm, is just really help people go above and beyond and help them achieve their dreams. Thank you for joining me, Justin, on the monthly podcast wrap up. As you know, we're in very interesting times, so who knows what's up for next month. I'm sure I can provide some more further insight. And of course, your feedback is greatly welcomed. You're more than welcome to come visit us at the head office here at the once Checkpoint Charlie Berlin Wall here at 120 Marine Parade, Coolangatta, New South Wales. Just 6 metres over there. That got very interesting in the last 20 months, but we're all a united country once again. Hooray! And if you do need real estate advice, though, New South Wales, Queensland and Victoria are still very much opposite to each other, so that's another story for another day. Selling, buying, renting in different states is not what you expect them to be. They're very different to each other. So give me a call if you're looking to sell, looking to rent, anything real estate. Give Schmith Estate Agents a call here based on the Gold Coast, but we also have operations in Sydney and Melbourne as well. So thank you for your time.